In June 1995, Ellis Park Stadium in Johannesburg was filled with the sound of a divided nation holding its breath. South Africa was hosting the Rugby World Cup, only 1 year after the official end of apartheid. For decades, the Springboks, South Africa's national rugby team, had been a symbol of white Afrikaner power, despised by much of the black majority. Yet on that day, something extraordinary happened. The Springboks, wearing green and gold, became the face of a new South Africa. And in the stands, President Nelson Mandela appeared in a Springbok jersey, smiling as he handed the Webb Ellis Cup to Captain François Pienaar. It was a moment that changed the meaning of sport forever. In this episode of Beyond the Try-Line, we revisit the 1995 Rugby World Cup, a tournament that was far more than sport. It was a story of politics, identity, reconciliation, and the power of rugby to unite a fractured nation. To understand the significance, we must first look at the history. Under apartheid, South Africa was isolated from the world of sports. The nation was banned from international rugby from 1981 to 1992. For black South Africans, rugby was seen as the enemy's game, while football, soccer, became their passion. The green and gold Springbok jersey symbolized oppression. Yet Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, saw rugby differently. He saw it as a bridge. If the Springboks could win on home soil, he believed, they could help unite a country on the brink of chaos. The 1995 Rugby World Cup was South Africa's chance to reintroduce itself to the world. The team was not expected to win. They lacked international experience after years of isolation. The All Blacks of New Zealand, with their unstoppable winger Jonah Lomu, were the favorites. But under coach Kitch Christie and the leadership of François Pienaar, the Springboks played with heart, discipline, and strategy. The tournament built momentum. South Africa scraped past Australia in the opening game, then beat Romania and Canada to reach the quarterfinals. In the semifinals, they faced France in Durban under torrential rain. The game was brutal, tense, and nearly called off because of waterlogged conditions. South Africa won 19-15, setting up a final against the mighty All Blacks. The final on June 24, 1995, is etched into rugby history. Jonah Lomu had destroyed England in the semifinals, scoring 4 tries in a performance that stunned the world. Many predicted he would run over the Springboks with ease, but South Africa's defense contained him. The game remained tight, with neither team scoring a try. At 9-9, the match went into extra time. Then Joel Stransky, the fly half, kicked a drop goal that sealed a 15-12 victory for South Africa. The stadium erupted. Against all odds, the Springboks were world champions. But the real magic came after the game. Nelson Mandela, wearing a Springbok jersey with Pienaar's number 6, walked onto the field to present the trophy. For many in the crowd, it was a surreal moment. Just years earlier, the Springbok jersey had been a symbol of white supremacy. Now it was worn by a black president who had spent nearly 3 decades in prison. The gesture transformed the jersey into a symbol of unity. When Mandela handed the cup to Pienaar, he said, "Thank you for what you have done for our country." And Pienaar famously replied, "No, Mr. President. Thank you for what you have done." The 1995 World Cup became a turning point. Internationally, it showcased a new South Africa, democratic, united, and hopeful. Domestically, it provided a rare moment of shared joy for black and white citizens. It didn't erase the wounds of apartheid, but it showed the possibility of reconciliation. Rugby, once a tool of division, became a symbol of healing. The economic impact was also notable. The tournament attracted global attention, boosting tourism and re-establishing South Africa as a legitimate sporting nation. It laid the groundwork for the country to host other major events, including the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Culturally, the story of 1995 inspired books, documentaries, and even Hollywood. The film Invictus, starring Morgan Freeman as Mandela and Matt Damon as Pienaar, brought the story to a global audience. But beyond dramatization, the true impact was felt in townships, cities, and villages across South Africa, where, for the first time, rugby was celebrated across racial lines. Of course, the unity of 1995 was fragile. Inequality, poverty, and racial tensions continued in South Africa. Some critics argue that the victory was a symbolic moment that didn't translate into long-term change. But symbols matter. In that stadium, with Mandela in green and gold, millions saw a vision of what the new South Africa could be. For rugby, the tournament cemented its reputation as more than a game. It showed the world that sport has the power to heal wounds, reshape identities, and inspire nations. Rugby became South Africa's gift to the world, proof that 80 minutes on a field could carry the weight of history.